Hello and welcome, fellow subscribers and other racing fans, and welcome to the Revolution Cup Season 4, race number 3, this time at Sakito, or more likely Suzuka Sakito. My name is Manuel, and today with me is Michael Rosberger.
Yeah, hello Manu. It's again a pleasure to be here for race 3 of the season. And yeah, I hope it's again going to be a great race like the first two ones of the season.
Yeah, certainly. Like last race at Silverstone was quite crazy with the weather conditions and everything else.
That race was really mental, and then the charging Project PD. I mean, that's probably one of the stories of the season.
Definitely.
This race back then.
All right, so that our drivers are already doing their outlap in the qualifying. I would say we're taking like a quick look to the standings before we're jumping straight into the qualifying session. At the moment leading the driver championship, Puff Pirate with 77 points. He had some really good results in the first and the second race, so he could manage to build up already an 11 points gap to Espart and 26 points already to our third position, Alex Salmon.
Yeah, and that gap to Espart is going to be a lot bigger after tonight's race, because Espart is unfortunately not able to race tonight.
That is really unfortunate. That leaves Salmon and Iceman, and especially Miyagi and Project PD, to jump Espart in the next race.
Yeah,
will be quite interesting. I think team championship-wise, it looks much closer this season. We have Superposition Racing. That's Espart and Eugene
Gaikin.
Is it Eugene Gaikin? No,
I think it's Eugene Gaikin.
Okay, I think it's Catch a Glimpse, but I'm too lazy to look at now.
As far as I know, Catch a Glimpse is racing with Fab Iceman.
Okay. You got me. So they're definitely leading by only 1 point, followed by Flying Pirate Racing, which consists of Puff Pirate and Flying Cayman, and that has to be right.
Yeah, that is right.
And third for the team championship is Potato Waffles. That should be Alex Salmon, and if I'm not mistaken, Tao or Terminator.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, this will be very close, especially on the top. But I would say we're jumping straight to the qualifying. Drivers are already out. I don't think a lap time is on the leaderboard yet.
No, but I think that was already quite the wobble through the definitely not hairpin from Alex Salmon. But yeah, most of the races are now already on their first flying laps. So maybe we can catch someone quick. So here's Puffy already in 130R, coming to the final turn. Let's see what he can. That was quite aggressive through there, killing all the cones.
Oh, and he went wide.
He went wide, yeah.
Definitely compromising his next lap now.
139.4. That's, I think it's already quite quick. Yeah, 2 seconds faster than Miyagi. That's already quite a statement.
So what is the weather forecast for tonight? I think someone is not prepared.
Yeah, definitely. I have to admit I'm not prepared what the weather forecast is. I only know it's dark in the night.
Alright, as far as I know, I think the qualifying is around 8 p.m.
Yeah, 8 p.m. and the race start is 9 p.m.
Exactly. I don't think there's anything crazy going on. With clear into overcast, so no rain, no fog, nothing too fancy. But I think the conditions are, already difficult. Those night conditions.
From what I've heard, a lot of people are for night conditions. A lot of people are struggling with tire temperatures. So it will be definitely probably the key will be to be very conservative with the tires, don't overheat them too much. So.
Yeah, I was hearing that from a couple of drivers that they will pit like in the first lap to even go further down with the pressure.
Yeah, and also to go away with the problems that the pit entry might offer, because it's a quite difficult pit entry there.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
And yeah, we have now Puff Pirate just with your fastest lap of 1:39.1. Let's see if Project PD can respond already in 1:30.
Oh, that was a very aggressive apex. He was riding there, going a little bit wide.
A little bit wide there.
It should be still in the rules. Yeah, and PD going into the pits.
He's obeying the rules and aborting his lap. Same as Puff Pirate, already in the pits.
But there's still 14 minutes on the clock, so definitely a couple tries.
So yeah, now also the first time we see Colonel McCoy in the championship. He was unfortunately not able to attend the first two races, and I have to say I somehow have to cheer to him. I mean, although he starts for the Netherlands, he's still a somewhat countrymate of me because he's living in Austria. So I have to be a little bit patriotic and cheer for him. And he's one of the underdogs in the BMW. So
yeah, it will be
interesting what he's able to do.
Yeah, he was on a vacation the first two races, so I hope he's now super relaxed and chilled, coming back, and now maybe kicking some good race pace in. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, for him it will be mostly about single race results, because with two missed races you're normally nowhere in the championship, but he can still make some impact and make the charges from other people's harder, because he steals some points from them.
Exactly. I also think we have like a couple guest drivers again tonight. I'm spotting Spike Road.
Spike.
Who's in the white guest livery.
White Porsche.
Yeah.
And again, I think we have again, if I can find him, Vernax also. But this time I'm always sticking with Vernax and not saying Vernu anymore.
But there was a little change. Unfortunately, Jet Pistol had to retire from the season because of a hand injury. And Vernax is actually taking over his spot.
He's taking over the spot.
So Vernax is now a teammate of Dutch-tastic.
Dutch-tastic.
And let me have a look what the team is called. Well, for me it says guest driver, but that's not true.
Okay. I have to say I also don't know now by how the team is called. But yeah, our third or our second guest driver tonight, which is actually already quite a regular driver, is Fatih Kursat. He's done the whole season until now, so I mean, probably guest driver isn't fitting anymore for him. He's more like the lone cowboy, racing the whole season but without a team. And that was a mistake.
He lost the rear through the S's. Yeah, I think it's also his third car he's driving. I'm pretty sure he drove the Aston Martin in the first race and the fourth in the second. Something like that. And now third race, third car, out the Porsche.
Yeah, I mean he is not racing for points, so he can actually drive just whatever he wants to drive. But yeah, now Puff Pirate again. But I don't think that's a fast lap. So maybe let's go to Alex Selman. I think that looks already a little bit more on pushing side. But yeah, at the front it's again very close between Puff Pirate and Project PD, only 0.04 of a second gap.
Maybe we could follow Puff Pirate for his fast lap if he's crossing start-finish line.
Yeah, but he's coming now to the spoon curve. Probably the most famous curve on this track.
Yeah, although it's... Oh, and that looked more like a lag than anything else. Yeah, there are two slightly changes compared Suzuka to Sakito. First of all, the hairpin is missing. And secondly, we don't have the Casio triangle, which should be right there. No, we're going flat through here. Last corner. It's really put your foot down and just like be brave enough. The car has enough downforce. And now the lap is starting. Start-finish line.
Maybe we also go... And Project BD just crushed Puff Pirate's time. And it seems like we have somebody in the wall there. But that's definitely not bothering Puffy. He's laying full on the throttle and trying to get his provisional pole back.
Yeah. So now in the Snake Complex, very fast left-right combination.
As we now go through the Dunlop curve into the two Degner curves and then underneath the tunnel.
Yeah, and there exactly where we're skipping the hairpin. Oh, that's very aggressive airbags. Yeah. Breaking down, second gear. Oh, that was very brave.
now through the tunnel into the definitely not hairpin, which is I think a fourth gear, quite fast left-hander.
Exactly, and now he needs to have a look at the traffic in front of him.
Yeah. Now again through spoon curves. The second part of spoon is quite tricky as the corner is getting tighter and tighter towards the end. Yeah. And they have to have a car that is not understeering too much.
Like hitting the apex is quite difficult there. Now we're going on the back straight or back stretch.
At 130R. Yep, that looked very good for there. And now again the final turn. I think in quali trim it's a full flat, maybe not the race trim, full fuel.
And I think it was a little bit lag again.
Yeah.
But I know that you can go full throttle there. Yeah. But he can't improve his time.
Can't improve, yeah. But yeah, it seems like again Puffy and Project D are in their own world. And Alex Selman on third place. Oh, he could improve. So he's now only 37 hundredths of a second back. And in third place we have Hutchkiss in the Porsche. So it's actually again quite mixed at the front. P5 currently is Fiener in the second Corvette, and Fab Iceman, the third Ford is... Oh, it's now Miyagi. It's still the same car in P6. But yeah, we still have about 7.5 minutes, so still quite plenty of time to get lap in.
I'm also spotting another guest driver we totally forgot, and that's Diluvian in P8.
Oh yeah, Diluvian. Also driving the Porsche, so the Porsche is quite popular among the guest drivers. Are one of the newest additions to the game. Definitely a great car to drive. I love it.
Yeah, like it handles a little bit different than the Ford, but overall it feels quite stable and seems like a good alternative to the Ford or Corvette.
So let's see if we can find someone quick. Maybe Battenberg is able to improve, currently in P10. But yeah, he told me earlier today that he wasn't doing that much practice, so that might be a little bit of a worse race, or not so good race for him this week. But yeah, let's see what he's managing. He's able to do with the Ferrari. I think he's currently the leading Ferrari in the pack, so...
Yeah, definitely. I think
with Clark missing, so one strong Ferrari is missing. But to be honest, I think he's currently on his hot lap because a little bit of weaving on the back straight is not the fastest way to go. Let's go more down the timetables. Flying Cayman currently in last position. I really hope he's able to improve. and maybe also profiting from the good setups he gets from his teammate Puff Parrot. But currently it seems like a bit he's struggling.
And we have also Spike, Jono and James sitting in the pits. Seems like Spike is out.
Spike is out, so...
But seems like Jono and James are not very interested putting in a qualifying time.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But maybe it's part of the strategy. Starting at the back, doing the pit stop first lap, and then charging from the back. Maybe they don't want to risk to get crashed or anything by pit stops. Yeah, we have already Puff Parrot again on the back straight. Let's see if he can improve again. Now through the final corner. And that was no improvement. But could also be that he's still on his out lap, so. Okay, yeah, it looks like Project PD is already pushing again. That looks far more aggressive than Puffy before. But, 1:38.892, that's now the fastest lap. Nearly 3/10 quicker than Puffy, so that was a statement towards Puff Parrot. Let's see if Puff Parrot or Alex Salmon can respond. But
that's already a benchmark, 38.8.
Okay. Yeah, 38.8, it's quite okay. Alex Salmon aborted his lap and back to the pits. Going out now for his final outing. But yeah, let's go back with Puff Parrot already in the definitely not hairpin. Now again coming towards Spoon Curve. It's really important to get perfect exit towards the back straight, otherwise you lose a lot of time through there. That's a corner where I normally always struggle really hard. It's a great corner to drive, but I definitely hate it to get it right.
Yeah,
I can't get it right.
Because the corner is like closing that much, and yeah. I'm also always missing the apex. It needs a lot of practice to hit that corner perfectly.
Seems like a little bit wide through 130R, but still seems like he got a lot of momentum through there.
Have a look, he can do 2 more laps.
Yeah, and no improvement. Katie Leuven's car also has already seen better times. That looks quite damaged, but might be only visual, so... Or yeah, maybe it wasn't fixed at pit stop.
Not sure.
So,
yeah, they sent off the car broken.
Because with this damage you're normally not doing fast times. And we have now Fenor in P4, so he was able to improve his time.
Like both of their Corvette teammates are not racing today. Like Crispy Cross, teammate of Project PD, is not able to race. Same for Nada.
Yeah, Nada also not. And I'm currently quite a bit surprised by Dutch Tastic running in last place. But yeah, maybe he wasn't. I don't know if they were racing the iRacing 6 Hours event this weekend. So maybe they had a lot of practice for this event and he wasn't able to practice that much for the Revolution Cup event. But yeah, it's currently a little bit surprising that he's that far back, because normally he's more of the midfield runner, maybe even scratching the top guys if he gets a good night. But yeah, doesn't seem like tonight. And yeah, only 1 minute left, so this is probably the last lap for most of the people.
Iceman maybe with another try, currently sitting in P6, 1.5 seconds behind Project PD.
Yeah, actually, the gaps are, yeah, it's bigger than it was the earlier rounds this season. Because at Monza it was quite close, and also at Silverstone, but this time it's, yeah, pretty big gap, to be honest.
Yeah, it seems quite a technical track, so...
Yeah.
Obviously, like, the gaps on such tracks are normally a little bit bigger.
High, yeah. And it's probably also going to be quite difficult to pass because you don't really have slow corners. Because actually the 2 slow corners that this track has, we don't have in this version, so it will be quite difficult to pass out of mid-speed corners to get enough drive to be able to make the passes. So I think strategy is more important than the other races. Be able to maybe make the overcut or the undercut work, and through that gaining or losing positions. And yeah, qualifying is over, so everybody has time to finish his lap. We have in the front a lot of people already back in the pits, so let's see if somebody still can improve.
Didn't look too bad the lap, but he is hugging completely the inside.
Yeah, maybe he tries to go for a shorter way. Was no improvement. But let's see if Project PD is now in spoon curve. So...
Oh, you're going really wide here, almost completely out of the track limits, but still rule conform.
Yeah. I think he's really on a full push, he wants to improve his time. That actually looked quite good, wasn't too aggressive, but...
Oh, he's supporting the lap.
Yeah, he's already on pole, so no need for doing any unnecessary risk, although it wouldn't really matter. But the only car left on the track is Spike. But I think, that looks like AI control, so... Yep, that was qualifying. No major surprises, to be honest.
Yeah, other than this time the Corvette is on the pole position. I think it's the first time actually.
Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, it was quite. A lot of people said that this is probably the best track for the Corvette on the schedule. So
yeah, and Project PD and Fino showed us that, sitting in P1 and P4, and between those two is Puff Pirate and Salmon. Also, very big surprise actually is Huge Kiss sitting in P5.
Yeah, that is a surprise, and also, unfortunately, somehow P6 got skipped, but that is, I think,
Fab Iceman, yeah.
Yeah, and P7 is Diluvian, guest driver, so yeah, now we have the standings. Project PD on pole. Right beside him, his German countrymate Puff Pirate. In row 2 we have Alex Salmon and Finor. Row 3, Huge Kiss and Stolnikas. It's Stolnikas in P6, so Fab Iceman is back in P8.
Oh,
right behind Diluvian. And Miyagi and Fatih Kursat are rounding out the top 10.
Right, so waiting now to progress into the race session, and from there the drivers have 2 minutes time to do last minute adjustments, refueling the car, maybe doing some setup changes if they're needed. Also quite interesting, the sector times. Seems like the Ford is... and now the sector times are gone.
Yeah, but what I've spotted is that the Ford is quicker in sector 1. And then sector 2 and 3, I think the Corvette is quicker. Especially sector 3, probably.
So I'm just thinking, who could we move in? Yeah. I don't want to move in Puff Pirate again.
Oh, he was already in here.
DD sometimes wants only focus. That's not a good idea. Yeah. I'm thinking of maybe Salmon or even Fino.
Yeah, maybe one of the two. They're all normally also talkative guys, so.
Or Huge Kiss as a big surprise.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Have a look what Huge Kiss was racing in race 1 and race 2. He had a DNF in race 1 and a P15 in race 2. That's like a major improvement. Towards the first 2 races. Let's have a look what Fino, 8th and 7th. I don't know, I'm undecided. Uçkis or Fino?
I mean, it would be interesting what the Corvette guys are saying, what they are expecting for this race.
Yeah, then let's put Fino in, I guess.
Let's put Fino in, yeah.
It was a very long 2 minutes.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Feeling like ages. But yeah, we have a very mixed up top 5. We have 2 Corvettes, 2 Fords, and then row 3 is completely Porsche.
Yeah,
so
definitely mixed up.
I don't see that Ford power anymore compared to race 1 and race 2.
Yeah, that's definitely a change, but it's a welcome change to see more manufacturers in the front.
Yeah, definitely, especially with the Porsche. Right, formation lap begins. For everyone new here, usually single file. The leader is defining the pace or the speed, and after the beginning of sector 3, we're forming up in a 2x2 formation. It should be odds on the left and evens on the right, if I'm not mistaken completely. And yeah, once we're crossing the start-finish line, the race is going on. But I would say let's go now to Fino.
Yeah,
and let's grab Fino.
Bring Fino in, our in-race reporter.
I hope he's not like whispering right now or anything.
See secret German tactics.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to the commentator box, Fino.
Oh, hello.
Very strong P4 from your Corvette. Also your kinda teammate Project PD with a very strong pole position time. But what are you expecting from the race?
I want to get a clean race. Just don't mess up, don't hit anyone, and then let's see where I can end up. Trying to hold the Porsches back.
Yeah, you have 2 Porsches directly behind you, which will be very interesting.
I think it's 3.
Even 3?
That's actually 3 Porsches.
It's actually 3. Even more work to do.
Yeah.
No, very surprised. Very good qualifying by you and Project PD. Also an awesome drive last race at Silverstone from both of you. I would say we send you back. We wish you the best of luck, Fino, and have a clean race.
Fino.
And we see us on the other side. He seems very focused.
Yeah. That was kind of like we are focused like robotic voice. But yeah, we have other cars forming up in 2x2 formation, so we're getting near to the start. And yeah, as you said, it's odds on the left, evens on the right, so the pole position gets the outside for turn 1. But that is, I think, actually from the outside you get a better drive through there.
Yeah, should be definitely. Like, maybe like from an attacking point of view, you want to stick to the inside. But because you can define when the race is starting, you should have like a good advantage to be like first on turn 1.
Yeah. And I think Huffy has that much experience. He's probably like planning on sticking in right behind PT for the first turn, getting clean through the S, and maybe after that doing the first attack.
Yeah, I mean Ford, as we said, very strong in Sector 1, stronger than the Corvette in Sector 1, so that will be definitely the sector he would like to attack Project PD.
Yeah, but yeah, now it's getting the final moments before the start. So they are nicely formed up.
Couple meters, start finish line. And the race is on. Green, green, green. Very good start from Project PD. Still on the left side. And Puffpire already lost the place to Salman. Salman now in P2. But Puffpire is trying to hold here, hugging the inside. Very good maneuver.
Okay, that only seemed like Fina was punting Alex Salmon, but everything clean in the front. Let's have a quick look at the back. Looks also quite good. A little bit more tighter packed there, but
oh, and there went someone wide. That
one Ferrari running wide. I think that was Naka. Looked like Naka, but let's get back to the front. As Project PD is already gapping Puff Pirate.
Yeah, very some major problems in the start with Puff Pirate. Already side by side with Alex Selman, where he went to had to go defensive. Definitely cost him
a lot of time.
Already a second to PD, where he's nearly already outside of the slipstream.
And Fino is now going aggressive and trying to overtake Selman. And yeah, he's definitely the better line and much more speed for the now going into Spoon Curve.
Ooh, and Selman goes running a little bit right.
But yeah, now Alex with the aggressive line, but he tries to get a little bit of air push, but the problem here is you have to kind of prepare at the exits of Spoon Curve if you want to overtake somebody into turn 1.
Exactly. Oh, and there were 2 Porsches very wide.
A lot of people were running very wide, so they are probably a bit surprised by the conditions and maybe the air push that they get in traffic.
Yeah. And Fino can already build a little gap to Selman, already half a second, and we have already like a 2-second gap to PD from Puff Pirate. And now the next overtake maneuver.
It's Diluvian trying to defend against Fab Iceman.
Oh, and another Ferrari off.
That was Bettenberg. Bettenberg running wide. Yeah, that was Bettenberg. Now getting attacked by Steve. So again, already quite some action in the first few corners. Seems like Alex is struggling a bit. He's already getting quite under pressure from Hutchkiss, who is doing a phenomenal job at the beginning of the race.
Yeah, he could hold his P5. Directly behind him, Stonikas, who is his teammate.
Yeah.
And behind him, Diluvian. So the 3-man Porsche pack is still holding together.
It's still intact, but Fab Iceman definitely plans to crush that.
The gap at the front is now stabilizing. We have roughly 2 seconds from Puff Pirate to PD. And already a 4-second gap to P3, which is Fino. So it seems like PD and Puff Pirate are on their own league again.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, the gap is growing, so it's already 2.2 seconds. I think there might have been a little mistake of running wide through 130R. It seems like he has a little bit connection issues this time. It seems like his car is lagging from time to time.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably currently the most interesting battle on the track is the battle for P6 between Stolnikas, Diluvian and Fab Iceman.
And Fab Iceman is trying to do the move here, looking the inside, but going back into the slipstream of Diluvian. But it was enough to upset Diluvian a little bit, and he messed up the corner. I don't think you're able to overtake the Porsche in the Snake Complex.
I don't think so. I think the Porsche is extremely stable for that. And we had someone running wide. I think that was the Colonel. Yeah, it was Colonel McCoy.
With the BMW.
That doesn't look too good. But yeah, behind the battling. Oh! I just wanted to say behind that battling pack we have the quick Swiss Elodie, but he was there, unfortunately. Training in Dunlop Curve, losing a lot of time now, back in P18.
Not sure if there was like contact or just lost his car on his own.
Maybe it's a blind corner, so maybe he was not concentrated for a short amount of time and just missed the apex there, which is really deadly for there. So we have Flying Cayman already in the pits, and unfortunately again transponder issues with Spike Crew and Jono. But I think they are back in the pack, back in the field anyway, so. They're also Night Tiger quite far back in the field.
Yeah, I wonder if they already pitted maybe for lower pressures. Yeah. I heard that.
Night Tiger, I don't think so, because he's still quite close to the rest of the pack, but Flying Cayman definitely was in the pits already. And I think maybe Miyagi, because he was actually quite far ahead at the beginning. Yeah, at the front the gaps are quite stable now, so the race is settled in, and it's now more about hitting your marks, getting consistency, and maybe then being able to close some gaps and get ready for attacks again.
Yeah. if we have a look at the lap times, Project PD last lap was a 40.3, Puff Pirate with a 40.1, and then already up a tenth of Fino with a 46, and after that Salman and Hutchkiss and Stolnikas already the 41s.
41.7, that's a lot of time lost.
Seems like most of the drivers are struggling a little bit with the conditions.
Yeah. And now also already coming into play is traffic in front of Alex. That's Flying Cayman. That is Flying Cayman. He already did his pit stop, so he's planning on ending the race with this set of tires. But yeah, he should normally, he will probably leave way after 130R, or maybe even before. But yeah, it also seems like Fab Iceman is losing a little bit to the Porsche, which are now going quite aggressive towards 130R. Maybe we'll see an attack by Diluvian against Hutchkiss. Stolnikas, sorry for that.
Yeah, Hutchkiss is a little bit more ahead.
Is still in 5th, yeah. But it seems like Diluvian was closer in 130R. He lost a little bit through there. But yeah, behind that we also have quite a big train with Battenberg, Steve, Dilly Sausage, and Fatih Kursat. I think Vernax already has a little bit of gap to them. And I think there was a mistake from Diluvian in turn 1. He lost some places, now in P10. That was definitely something.
Yeah, so Fab Iceman, Battenberg and Steve are gifted one position.
Yeah, and now Fab Iceman stuck behind Cayman. That's quite unfortunate at this position because it's quite hard to overtake.
Cayman should move now.
Yeah, he does. Moving now.
Well done. Very good from Flying Cayman. Don't want to interfere with the ongoing battle. Just lifting a little bit and letting him through.
Yeah.
But Diluvian is trying to fight back, now in the tail of Battenberg and Steve G.
Yeah, I think he definitely has a better pace than this group, so he will... Oh! That was... that... Oh, big carnage in the back straight. Normally now we would have safety car, but...
And my game crashed.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's not good. So we are now doing RSR radio. Battenberg crashed into Diluvian at the exit of Spoon Curves, both with a lot of damage, but fortunately no one else involved. They were all able to manage to navigate around the crash. And we have Hutchkiss in the pits. So Hutchkiss currently in the pits, doing his mandatory pit stop. And we have now Steve G in P6 and Fab Iceman already, yeah, Fab Iceman trying to close in. So Steve G was able to pass Fab Iceman. And Fab Iceman now going a little bit wide through the S-curves.
Yeah, my game crashed when the contact was happening. Very weird.
So, yeah, hopefully you can rejoin because...
Yeah, it should be possible.
Hopefully, yeah. Otherwise we have to do RSR radio. Which isn't optimal, but still. So yeah, currently Puffy is a bit faster now. The last few laps again, 4/10 quicker with a 140.1 and Project PD with a 140.5. And okay, that was misleading because on my race feed I've Project PD is making a pit stop, but that's definitely not true. But yeah, we have Finor in P3 with a gap of 7 seconds to the front runners, and Alex Salmon in P4. Behind him we have a 11-second gap to Stolnikas in P5 with Hutchkiss already pitting, who is currently in P20, but he might be the leading car of the cars that have already pitted.
And I'm back in.
Okay, so we have again some footage. The radio time is over and we can deliver again great pictures. But yeah, Fab, there's quite the battle here between Fab Iceman and Steve G, and there was a little bit of contact, I think. Yeah, there was definitely some contact. Steve G running wide in the S's. Ah, that's unfortunate for Ed. He's putting out an advertisement banner to the track, which hopefully not causing any issues to other cars, but Steve G lost a couple of places here, now in P10.
Right, we should be sorted again.
Yeah. Yeah, the race is quite turbulent around between P6 and P10 now, so a lot of passing and also a little bit of carnage. But there also Colonel McCoy made his way back to P9 now with already strategy coming into play after his mistake in the early. And Steve spun again, so there might be some trouble with his car. Steve spun at the exit of Spoon Corner.
And that Chestic already in P11. I think he started from P24. A very good gain by Dutch Chestic.
Yep, he's definitely capitalizing on the mistakes in front of him and already strategy plays. So I think he's just trying to maybe stay out as long as he can until he comes into major traffic and then doing his pit stop.
Well, that's now our strongest BMW.
Yeah, and I fear it's our only BMW in the field with Groby and no, it's not the only BMW. I'm again talking crap because Corn World is also running a BMW.
But he just left the TeamSpeak.
Okay, so
I'm not sure if
so he is now the only BMW in the race with Morvik and Groby not able to race. Morvik the usual Morvik move of pulling out last minute.
Not saying anything and not participating.
Groby probably wasn't able to practice with also a lot of iRacing commitments he has.
And
McCoy spinning. Very good reactions of Vernax to avoid this crash. And Colonel McCoy now back in P11, and we have Jono and Flying Cayman again in the pits. So major issues again for Flying Cayman. That's definitely a step back in the team championship with where Flying Pirate Racing was trying to challenge the top team
with Espard.
Of Espard and Eugene. Yeah, the race is already quite settled, but yeah, Colonel McCoy already again aggressive against his Dutch countrymate Dutch Chestic, and he makes the move stick. So yeah, the BMW is just a rocket on the straights, but it's probably not the best car in the corners. So
yeah, so we should see at least some troubles in the next complex now. At least Dutch Testing getting closer.
Dutch Chestic shouldn't have any problems with behind him, but it seems like he struggles a little bit in dirty air.
And the gap in front is also very steady between Puff Pirate and Project PD. Round about 3 seconds.
Round about
all the
3
time.
seconds now.
It seems like that only Puff Pirate can go with PD, and other than that, the race pace is already dropping.
But yeah, it's still quite surprising. Puffy is quicker nearly every lap, but still the gap is growing.
Yeah, so like last lap was like a 41 from Puff Pirate.
Oh, okay, then I missed that. But yeah, now a 40.5 from Project PD and a 40.7, so 2 times lost by Puff Pirate there. And also Fina is able to keep the gap pretty steady at about 10 seconds now.
And that is tough work for Puff Pirate to maintain that gap.
Yeah.
And Fino also a very strong third position, already roughly 5 to 6 seconds to Selman. But it seems like a lot more tighter from P5 downwards.
Yeah.
With Stonikas, Iceman, and Vernax.
Yeah,
and also Silly Sausage in P7 with his Ferrari.
Yeah, Silly Sausage, Battenberg's teammate. He's reeling in. He's reeling in Fab Iceman, so he's getting closer and closer. So we might see an attack or maybe an undercut attempt the next few laps. And we have Steve G now pitting after all these issues he had. He's now coming to the pits. Probably wanting a new set of tires because after spinning, especially what I experienced is after you spin with the Ford, you have no grip at all in fast corners. So,
and let's hope also that the front left light is being repaired.
Yeah.
At least for me, it was broken. But yeah, very surprised by the pace of Silly Sausage. He can really stick with Fab Iceman. So it seems like the Ford is not that great compared to the other tracks. At least besides of Puff Pirate, everyone is struggling a little bit with the Ford.
That's probably this race. That race is the worst race for Fords. Maybe next week also with Watkins Glen is maybe going to be interesting. But we have now Alex Salmon in the pits. Alex Salmon pitting. He's the first of the front-running cars. Probably trying to make somewhat undercuts, but yeah, with this big gap. But he definitely wants to try something strategy-wise to maybe get the back place back or something. So we have now Stolnikas in P4 with Alex Salmon pitting.
I think also something happened with Hutchkiss. I'm not seeing him anymore.
Hutchkiss is in P19, but he already pitted, so he was pitting quite early. And I think he's now trying to overtake or lap Spike Crew. Unfortunately, his transponder is broken, so we can't see where he actually is position-wise.
Going a little bit wide there.
Yeah.
130 hour.
But doesn't seem like he lost any time or so. Yeah, definitely the pit stops take a long time now with Alex Salmon coming out right behind James. And I think in front of there is Miyagi, so we have a three car Ford train now.
I think both Miyagi and Steve are already in the pits. No, that's not Steve, that's James.
That's James.
James wasn't in the pits, but I don't know.
Yeah, James wasn't, but I think Miyagi and Salmon were already, so it's... But yeah, definitely, that is definitely not what Alex Salmon wanted. He wanted a clear track in front of him and not two Fords that are holding him back big time. He's already going aggressive towards Boom Curve. And he makes the move stick. But at least he gets side by side, and that's normally, yeah, how he's done the overtake.
Right, James. Now obviously it's interesting what pace is Miyagi doing. He's doing a 44, so I guess Salmon trying now to overtake Miyagi as fast as possible because he was before his pit stop in the 42s.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe already coming to turn 1. I mean, we know that Alex Salmon is probably one of the most aggressive drivers in overtaking, but he still always stays clean, so... But
very good drive in the last corner. That should be it.
A lot of top speed advantage there. A lot of aero push, but it still can't make it stick. It's very difficult to get by someone in the last 2 straights.
Yeah, it was very great defensive move by Miyagi. But I think there was missing some speed from Salmon to make the overtake stick.
I think he had massive aero push coming out of the slipstream, but once he was alongside him, he just was nearly decelerating a bit, or at least his advantage was away.
But you can see now that Salmon is really gluing at the rear of Miyagi now.
Yeah, what I think is that maybe Alex is on a higher downforce setting, probably. So in slipstream no problem, but once he gets alongside him, he's getting a wall of air, which is breaking his car.
Maybe now at the spoon curve, better drive out of it. But the back straight is a little bit short.
But it's definitely a good way to get close, to get right at the exhaust pipe through 130 at the last turn and then make the move on start-finish straight.
Oh, and there was already a position change between Stolnikas and Faber Eisman.
Okay.
Both also battling. But now let's
see if Alex Salmon can get by. So now we would definitely need some split screen coverage to get Fab Eisman and Stolnikas battling. And
and this time Miyagi is just letting him by. At least it looked like it.
Yeah, it looked like it, because probably Miyagi knows that Salmon is much quicker than him. But yeah, let's... Oh! Stolnikas lost the place again.
Yeah, there was like a battle going on between Stolnikas and Fab Eisman.
Yeah, and now also Silly Sausage comes to the party. But it seems like Stolnikas is struggling a bit. We are nearing the midway point of the race, so tires might come into play.
Yeah, we have a freeway battle between a Ford, a Porsche, and a Ferrari. Could be the best outcome for the Ford.
Yeah,
it looks like Stolnikas is pitting.
Probably the best decision with him already struggling, but...
Now to get away of the battle. Maybe try to find a gap and then put some laps in.
We also have Diluvian in the pits and Giorno, but I think for Giorno it's something terminal. He's already in the pits for a few laps now. So that might be, he's retired, so... Unfortunately, race ended for Giorno. It's definitely not a good season for him.
No, we expected much more.
Yeah. At least I was a bit surprised by him being in Split 1. But yeah, it seems like he has somewhat of a Split 1 curse. Always he manages to get into Split 1, he has a miserable season.
Yeah, might be worth asking what happened there.
Yeah. There we also have James down the pits. And Stolnikas going out of the pits and...
But PD is hammering times and he just did the 39.9.
Yeah, I think his pit stop is coming the next few laps. He's trying to hammer in some more laps. But yeah, Puffy now about 7 seconds behind. 1.5 seconds lost alone in the last lap. Oh, and again sliding a bit there. But it really seems like Puffy is struggling now. Puffy is struggling now big time. The gap to Fina is now only 5 seconds anymore, which was, I think, before at 8-9 seconds, so Pino is definitely closing in.
Yeah, it seems like maybe in a couple laps the Puffball has to look more in his rearview mirror than in front.
Yeah. So now Alex Salmon's... Oh no, that's not Alex, that's Tao Diu passing Eugene Flöcker. So my eyes betrayed me once again. I thought Alex Salmon is already behind his teammate. But yeah, Eugene Flöcker, someone we didn't really talk about this race. He's quite under the radar. Probably, after the first two races, we expected a little bit more of him, but seems like he also struggles a bit with the track.
Yeah, you could imagine that the Porsche and the Corvette has like a slight advantage on that track.
Yeah.
And also the Ferraris. Yeah, I don't think it's not too bad. Like we saw in the first two races, the Ferrari is more suffering of braking, like hard braking, where he's losing some time. So you don't have those many hard braking points here in Sakito. Yeah, but at the same time, I don't know. Doesn't seem to be like the best car out there at the moment.
Yeah, or maybe he also just don't like the track. I mean, that always could be the issue with some people just not liking a certain track. But yeah, now also Elodie currently racing a quite lonely race after his mistake early in the race. But yeah, will be interesting now when all the top runners come into the pits. I think we're still staying out a little bit because we saw what happened to Alex Albon. You lose quite a lot of time in the pits and he was stuck in traffic. But they probably want to go into the pits as late as possible to avoid exactly that. Okay, that is not interesting. That is really interesting. Half Pirates within 0.6 of a second behind Project PD. So I think Project PD was definitely going too crazy and was probably spinning or something like that.
Yeah, that's like the old habits. I'm also seeing like, I think rear right light of Project PD is not working anymore.
It's not working anymore. Yeah.
Definitely some contact with the wall involved. Yeah, I think that's the curse of PD. He's sometimes wanting too much.
Yeah.
And then bidding the car maybe too often. We saw that at Monza. We saw 2 spinners at Silverstone. And I think that is the big advantage from Puffy.
He's really consistent.
He's super consistent. And we can see lap times 151 from Project PD. So all the gap he was working for, like down in the lap.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and Puffy is like, he's when he knows P1 isn't possible, he stays with the P2 and goes for the points, which is definitely giving him the advantage towards the championship. But yeah, I mean, Project PD has no other choice than trying for the win, or going for the win for the rest of the season. Otherwise, he's not getting Puffy from the top position.
But it's now interesting how the next lap time will look like. If Project PD has some damage, which means his next lap times will be a little bit compromised by it, or if he can just go ahead and do the slow 40s again.
I don't think that he lost a lot of pace because he already gained again 6 to 7 tenths along this lap. That's now already about a second, so that was a 41.6 by PD and a 42.5 by Puffy. So
yeah, but if I compare to Fino did the 40.8.
Yeah, he's definitely getting closer again.
Then maybe he's joining the party in a couple laps.
Yeah. It will be interesting who is going first for the pit stop. Because I think once one of the 3 is going to the pits, probably both will respond the lap or maybe 2 laps afterwards. That's my guess in terms of strategy. But yeah, definitely PD, Puffy and Fino are driving in their own world this time. With Fab Iceman already 35 seconds behind them currently. And
quite a big gap.
And then we have Colonel McCoy and Tao in the pits. And Alex Albon is still stuck in traffic. He's currently in P12. And having Fatih Kusat about 2 to 3 seconds in front of him, so that's his next victim. And yeah, now pit stops are getting more and more. We also have now Eugene Flerke in the pits. And yes, still tries to reel in Fab Iceman, but the gap is also quite consistent between these 2 guys.
Yeah, but last lap we was 4 tenths quicker.
Yeah.
It seems like he's not struggling too much with the tires compared to the Ford.
I think the Fords are the biggest, if you can say it, like the losers with the tires. I think they or at least they seem to struggle the most with the tires this race.
Yeah, so the Sots is coming closer. Let's have a look at the lap times. Eisen with a 42.3 and Silly Sausage with 42.2.
So again, nearly 2/10.
And now the gap is all of a sudden less than a second.
Yeah, and now we have Spike Crew in front of them. Hopefully he doesn't interfere too much in this battle. Oh, yeah, that's not cool. That was definitely not cool.
Yeah, Spike definitely didn't make enough space.
Yeah,
I think there was also some contact involved.
Yeah, that's definitely not cool. If you already lapped, you normally should give way.
Oh, and there was also another Ferrari.
Another Ferrari going off. I think that could have been yeah, Eugene Fleck was that.
Yeah, so now quite a big gap again from Silly Sausage to Fab Iceman.
Yeah, there was definitely some impeding there. I think now he has Bettencourt in front of him.
Fino in the pits.
Fino now in the pits, going for the mandatory pit stop.
Exactly at the halftime.
Yeah. So I expect to see at least Puffy coming in the next few laps to respond to Fino.
It looks like PD has some damage. He can't go with the lap times of Fino anymore, and he's not very equal to Puff Pirate.
Yeah. But yeah, it's still enough to hold Puffy back, so...
And we have now also Silly Sausage in the pits.
Yeah, Silly Sausage trying something different to maybe get back to Fab Iceman. And also Dutch Testic in the Porsche coming into the pits. And he's stuck behind Spike Crew, so maybe not the best thing to have. Maybe hopefully he has a faster pit crew than Spike. Otherwise
there's another Ferrari coming in. That must be Flurko, I believe. I'm not sure.
I think it's
Night Tiger. That's Night Tiger.
And we now have Vernax in P4. View all that strategy, and we have Fino now in P5 back on the track. And he is about 15 seconds in front of Salmon, so Salmon lost at least 10 seconds due to traffic there. And we have now Project PD, the leader before in the pits. So PD
and Puff Pirate stayed out.
Yeah. So, but I think Puffy probably will come in the next lap. Yeah, let's stay with Puffy. Maybe he's doing the pit stop the next lap. Yeah, I think he maybe saw it on the track map that there might be something coming into play, and he was reacting to that. But I think we should have PD now coming out of the pits. And we have Vernax now also pitting.
And Fino overtook Project PD.
There was definitely some damage at PT, so his pit stop took a little bit longer there. And we have Fino now in front of PD.
If Puff Pirate get this information that Fino is in front of PD, then he definitely know that if he's going to the pits, he should become out in front of them.
And I think Puff is now coming to the pits with traffic in front of him. Yeah, he's coming to the pits. Oh my God! Puff was that only a lag, or was he really hitting that missing mesh in the pit entry?
I think he really hit the missing mesh in the pit entry. We Well, we said it quite often, don't hit the outside curb.
Yeah. But now he was doing it himself. Hopefully it was only a lag on our side and not happening to him, but that could cause a lot of damage to his car now. And I think we will now have Fab Iceman taking over the lead. All the cars in front of him pitting.
The third or fourth lead change now in this race.
Yeah.
I think Puffy is already driving out again.
Yeah, that was a quite short stop. There's Fino. Fino coming down start-finish straight, so... Yeah, Puffy is now the leader if you count out the pit stops, so...
But only by roughly 2 seconds.
Only by roughly 2
and
seconds.
Project PD is also very close to Fino, actually.
Yeah.
So this is now all of a sudden a freeway battle for the lead.
Yeah, so we might get some action for the last 25 minutes, so... I mean, to be honest, at the beginning of the race, it looked a little bit boring at the beginning, but now it seems to be really interesting.
And you can see how Project PD is throwing the car around the corners. Definitely wants to push.
He definitely wants to know it, as we see in Austria. But yeah, we also have Nafati Kursat in the pits, so I think it's not that much people left to pit. It's Fab Iceman, Eugene Garkin, and I think everybody else was pretty much in the pits. So. That's now about roughly 2 seconds between each of the top 3 guys that have already pitted. And Fab Iceman still staying out. And yeah, Project PD is definitely back on his pace with 1:39.7. Half a second quicker than Fenor. And Half Pirate did a 1:45.
That's his outlap.
That was his outlap, so he lost roughly 5 seconds there, I think. Due to getting out of the pits.
And now, both Pirate, Fino and Project PD are now in between 2 seconds roughly.
Yeah,
3 seconds.
Roughly 2 seconds between them. There was one green Ford going right, I think it was...
must be Steve or James, if I'm not mistaken.
Steve or James.
But
it was Steve. It was Steve. But yeah, it will be interesting. Are they doing some cross-team tactics or not, PD and Fino? I mean, we already...
Oh, and Fino lost it.
That
in the
was
spoon curve.
but
that was a scary moment for him.
Yeah. But yeah. What I wanted to say is, are they doing some cross-team tactics? They are somewhat known for coming up with some crazy ideas to work together. So maybe Fino is not making it too difficult for PD to pass. And Fab Iceman now pitting, but we stay with the battle now for P3.
And Fino goes defensive.
Fino goes... Oh, no. he lets PD by. He lets PD by. So, there we have again our cross-team tactics. I think Fino is now just trying to throw the anchor to PD's back bumper and just trying to stay there.
And there was like a Ferrari on his own mission.
That was a Ford, I think.
The Ford.
That was either Miyagi or maybe, I think... it was Tao. It was Tao. And Fab Iceman still in the pits. We lost a lot of there, so we have Alex Salmon back in P4 and Hutchkiss in P5, so...
Yeah, so the early pit stop didn't hurt too much for Huge Kiss.
Oh.
Also, if I have a look at the lap times, putting in very consistent 42s at the moment. So it will be now interesting if he can close the gap to Salmon. Or if he has to defend from Fab Iceman. This will be quite interesting to watch in a couple laps.
Yeah, but the last time around, PD was about a second quicker than Puff Pirate, so the gap is now 2.3 seconds. Tendency will be getting slower, so getting smaller. Let's watch what lap times they are now managing to do.
Bofi with a 49 and PD with a 46, so another 3/10.
Another 3/10. And the gap is now down to 1.6, 1.7 seconds.
And Fino with a 42.3, but that was obviously this lifting before turn 1. But I don't know, if that was a team order or a cross-team order at the same time, I think both drivers know what is their own pace, and sometimes you compromise your own race by fighting someone if you just let them by and continue your own race. I mean, the gap is big enough to P4, but still, I don't think that Fino could defend a couple laps from Project PD. I think that's.
I think he definitely knows that PD wants to catch Puffy, and I mean they are officially not in a team, but they are working tight together, the two teams, in terms of setup and also race strategy. So there wasn't much sense in trying to block PD there, as it would have cost time only for both. So
exactly.
I mean, probably the spectators would have loved the battle between the two Corvettes, but hopefully we'll see a battle between Corvette and Ford in a few minutes.
Yeah, the gap is shrinking. We are now under 2 seconds. Now interesting what lap times they will both put in.
Yeah, and we still have 18.5 minutes left, so plenty of racing.
There's also slow Porsche, but he's making space. Perfectly done. And we have now a 49 again from Puffy and the 40.2 by Project PD.
And we are now underneath a second. Getting closer and closer.
This time it's not an easy race for Puff Pirate like in Silverstone, where he just had to drive until the end. He's now really under pressure from PD, and also Fino did a 40.6, also 3 times faster. So yeah, the hunt is now starting for the
hunt
Ford.
is on, yeah. And the problem for Puff Pirate is this time he knows that Project PD is coming closer and closer. The last time, I mean, he said it. He didn't even know that Project PD was on so blistering pace and was nearly endangering his victory there.
Yeah, he didn't know. I spoke to him. I think we also had him in our interview. But it seems like that the Corvette is like gaining so much time for the last sector compared to the Ford. Crazy. The gap is again roughly 2 seconds. And now the last 2 corners, seems like the Corvette is so much stronger than the Ford. Yeah, and now the gap is shrinking again. Oh, up! And mistake by PD, he had to lift it a little bit.
Yeah, mistake. He was too aggressive, hitting one of the sausage curbs there.
And Puff Pirate with a 40.3. Well, he definitely got the email that there are some fast Corvettes behind him, so he's now upping his pace a little bit.
He definitely got the memo there.
Pina with a 40.7. But I think the better question will be if Puff Pirate can really maintain that speed. If the tires are good enough, and if he really can maintain those low 40s. I think if he can, might be enough to take the victory.
Might be enough to hold back PD, but it will be definitely difficult for him. But
looking...
yeah, other than the closing race at the top of the table, it's quite settled down the field, so we currently don't really have any battles going on.
I'm spotting Dutch and Yagi who are quite close. But that's like, yeah.
But there was a Ford the other way around at the inside of Spoon Corner, but I don't think there was any major or someone at the front. But yeah, it's only really Dutch, Testic and Miyagi that are currently a little bit of close, so maybe we'll have a look back there.
Well, it's also quite a...
But actually, margin, the gap is quite big, to be honest. Doesn't look like the timetable. So, yeah, let's get back to the front. Fina now losing a little bit to the top two guys. But still pretty safe in P3 with a 30-second gap to Alex Salmon in P4. So nothing to fear for him. Yeah, it definitely seems like Project PD backed down a little bit after his mistakes, or at least Puff Pirate is now able to respond to the pace. And I think that was Colonel McCoy spinning. Yeah, Colonel McCoy spinning there, also damaged headlights, so he has to pit. Yeah, the rules.
He has to pit, no more lights.
But would be interesting if Puff Pirate was maybe involved in that, because he was quite close there. Maybe it was a little bit of miscommunication when lapping.
Again, matching lap times.
They're matching lap times, yeah. They are quite equal.
And Fino is dropping already a little bit, as expected. Just a low 41. The gap is now to Puff Pirate already roughly 5 seconds.
Yeah, but to be honest, he doesn't really have to risk anything. He can't go by the pace of the top two guys, and he has a very comfortable lead to P4, so for him it's probably just getting the 12 minutes done and cruise home to P3.
I really said actually the field is so settled at the moment. I would love to go a little bit through the field, but at the moment, like, the only real battle is in front.
Yeah. I mean, we can quickly go through the field and see all the people in their positions. So we have Project B on P2 currently trying to reel in Puff Pirates, who just went a little bit wide at the exit of Spoon. P3, as already said, Pinor. In P4 we have Alex Selman, who has done a quite early pit stop and was stuck in traffic for a long time there. And yeah, there we have a battle. He's getting reeled in by Hutchkiss in the Porsche.
As we said like a couple laps ago, if Hutchkiss is putting in his consistent lap times, there will be a battle. And there we go.
And yeah, Project PD was also about 0.6 of a second quicker the last time around than Pirate, so it's getting closer at the front. But yeah, Hutchkiss trying to prepare a move through 130R, I think. Trying to get a perfect exit, coming to the start-finish straight. Let's see if Alex Selman is going defensive or not. I think the gap is too big. You really have to be at the bump of the guy in front of you to be able to pass. yeah, I think we have to go back to the front because Project PD is now within, nearly within half a second.
Yeah, last lap PD was 6/10 quicker. Also Fimo could dip into the 40s again. Yeah, now PD directly behind Puff Pirate, and we know that the Corvette is stronger through the last 2 corners. So maybe we're seeing already an attack on the start-finish line.
Yeah, as again a Ford running very wide into the barrier at 130R.
And PD is close. And Puff Pirate is moving already a little bit to the right side. Just want to hint, if you try to do something and just move to the inside and go defensive.
Yeah.
So for now they stay Puff Pirate in 1, Project PD in 2, but now only 2/10 between those 2 drivers. Only 10 minutes remaining. Now through the first sector, through the Snake Complex. Usually the Ford a little bit stronger here. But again, if we're moving into Sector 2 or Sector 3, the Corvette will be shining there a little bit more.
Yeah, but Project PD is not losing too much time there, so... Seems like his car is also extremely good in dirty air for the first sector.
Both hitting the apex quite perfect. Now our very own hairpin.
Yeah.
This might be now one chance to Project PD if he has a better drive, but yeah, he was a little bit outside of the track.
I think there was a little wiggle or wobble going out of the definitely not happen.
But PD definitely this time closer to Puff Pirate through the spoon curve. Now again the question, is it enough on the back straight to make the move, or is he only preparing again for the start-finish line?
I think coming to 130R it's far too risky to overtake there with these cars. With slower cars with less downforce possible. Now it's getting close.
And PD now directly behind Puff Pirate, moving to the right side, trying to give him the long way. And now side by side through turn 1. And PD makes it stick.
There was a mistake by Puff Pirate. Puff Pirate, I think he was surprised by PD passing him maybe. He wasn't expecting that and was a little bit late on the brakes there. Had to avoid Project PD. But we have now a new leader, Project PD.
It was the only chance for Puff Pirate to defend towards Project PD. But I think the drive out of the last corner towards turn 1 was just too great for Project PD. And then yeah, Puff Pirate tried to the last second, maybe going side by side, but then obviously it was a little bit too much. Yeah, lead change, 7 minutes remaining. PD now in P1, Puff Pirate in P2. Gap is roughly 1 second. Let's have a look if Puff Pirate maybe can fight back. But I really doubt it. But
yeah, I also doubt it. I mean, he already lost nearly a second. I mean, a lot of that time was lost in the first turn with his mistake. But
yeah, but still, like one little mistake. We saw PD doing like 1 or 2 mistakes through the last corner, where he drove over the bumps a little bit and had to lift. So like those are like one of those situations is now needed for Puff Pirate to actually get close again.
Yeah, and I mean there's still 7 laps left, so that's roughly, I think, 4 laps, 3 to 4 laps. What was Puff Pirate doing there?
Might be lifted a little bit because he went wide in the second last corner.
I mean he also flashed his light in front of the last turn, so interesting.
Yeah, he must lift it. He did the 42.3. So fair play by Puffy. I'm also seeing that Hugekis lost 2 positions again.
Yeah.
Last lap was the 57, so there must be like a spinner involved or anything.
Yeah, definitely. There was definitely.
And someone else lost it again.
I think there was also Porsche. But it wasn't Fatih. Then let's go back to Hugekis. It could have been Stolnikas, I think. Okay, no,
Also, Salmon and Fab Iceman looking quite close.
Yeah, they are extremely close now.
Yeah, the fight for P4
is on. With 5.5 minutes left on the clock. And Fab Iceman doing the move around the outside.
And he made it stick. Yeah. That was quite a crazy move, actually.
Yeah, Fab Iceman definitely on newer tires, having more grip there. With Alex Salmon being on... I think the tires are nearly 40 minutes old now, so... But that was definitely one of the moves of the race.
Yeah.
From Fab Iceman.
Going there on the outside, it was very brave. But he succeeded. It was quite good. But still, the gap from Fab Iceman to the top 3, that's just insane. 45, yeah, like 45 seconds to Fino. Also, Porsche is trying to make some space. Could be Spike, not sure.
Let's Spike in the plain white livery. And Alex running right again for 130R. Lost him again some time. And yeah, Puff Barrett was 7/10 of a second slower the last time around than Project PD, so gap is already at 2.1 seconds, so I don't think Puff Barrett is able to respond anymore.
Only a mistake can help him now.
Yeah, only a mistake, yeah, true.
Also seems like Fino is settled in now in P3, now matching again Project PD with his lap times, but the gap looks big enough.
That seems like also now Hutchkiss has to defend against his teammate, Stolnikas, and there was a Porsche running in the grass. But then towards the end of the race, it's getting a little bit more interesting again. So we have some battles here and there. Also Dutch Chestic at the back of Colonel McCoy.
That's now an interesting battle between the BMW and the Porsche.
Yeah.
And McCoy still not in the pits. His light's still not working.
I think he was. I think he was in the pits, and just we can't see it. It wasn't refreshed fast because it seems like that for other cars also. Because at least I can only see one headlight of the Chestic. So.
Oh, I can see two. Okay.
Okay, so might be again, yeah.
Some spectating issues.
Yeah. It seems like Alex Salmon is not able to respond.
Yeah, last lap he was 3/10 slower. But it seems like Salmon was struggling the whole race. He pitted quite early. And yeah.
I mean, from what I know, he was away for the whole weekend and just arrived a little bit before the race today, so he wasn't able to do any last-minute practice. So maybe he thought he's quite comfortable on pace and wasn't able to respond anymore to the crazy pace Puff Barrett and Project PD were doing.
I'm going a little bit wide again here. Really trying to push now. He's really trying to get another look at Fab Iceman.
Yeah, I don't think so. He's getting close again without a mistake of Fab. But yeah, we are now. I don't think it's the final lap.
I think one more. But again, the two Corvettes, similar lap times. Oh, and there's a Ferrari off.
There's a Ferrari.
Hope no involvement with PD. Nope, they solved it. That was really good.
I think that it was Elodie then. It's Elodie. But yeah, hopefully now Project B doesn't have any issues with the traffic like in race 1. Because he just needs to be a little bit patient and maybe get them in the back straight.
Also make space.
Making space, and I think the other two, but I think they're battling. Elodie and Silly Sausage are battling for P11, so...
Well, that's not very good for Silly Sausage. Now they're going 2 by 2 into 1 on 30R. The D has to break a little bit. They're still side by side.
Yeah, and that's definitely not good for Project BD. He's now going around the outside.
And Silly Sausage, he slowed a little bit down. Looked like he did it on purpose. But yeah, obviously Elodie is now the winner of this situation.
Yeah, and with 6 seconds left on the clock, we go into the final lap. So white flag for the guys now. Final lap of the race.
Now Elodie makes space.
Project BD is now through the traffic, and we lost Puff Pirate.
Puff Pirate in P3.
So he was maybe having some issues with one of the back markers. I think maybe he tangled with Spike, because where's Silly Sausage? Yeah, Silly Sausage is already further ahead, so yeah, we definitely lost Puffy there. Would be interesting what happened there. But maybe, yeah, probably a crash or a moment with the back marker.
Yeah, if nothing goes wrong, double victory for the Corvettes.
Yeah.
Very unexpected, actually. The only 2 Corvettes.
It was somewhat expected that we see the Corvettes at the front. Definitely another double victory.
Again, very strong performance. Project PD.
Oh, he's letting by Elodie, so he gets 1 more lap. Oh, that's definitely not healthy for my heart. I already thought he's running out of fuel. But yeah, we have now Project PD coming to the start-finish line, winning round 3 of the Revolution Cup, which means we have 3 races and 3 winners this season.
Very good drive by...
Oh, and I think he wanted to get a kind of side-by-side finish with Fenor. We have Puff Pirate in P3 and Fab Iceman 46 seconds behind them in P4, which is a huge gap.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that Salmon is getting any closer. I think lap time-wise they're quite matching. We have Huge Kiss in P6 and Stolnikas in P7.
Yeah.
There might be some battle going on between Stolnikas and Night Tiger.
It looks close on the timing sheets.
But not close.
Not close enough.
Yeah, strong result for Iceman again. Top 5 results.
Yeah, again crazy. 4 Germans at the top of the time sheets. So, it seems like season 4, it's German domination.
It's German hammer time. Salmon, P5. I think he struck a little bit. And Sakito. Huge Kiss, very strong result for Huge Kiss. And P6 in front of his teammate Stolnikas in P7.
There's also 1 Ford in there. But that, I think it was a left car. And Stolnikas lost it. Stolnikas lost it in the final turn, I think. Yeah, losing to that tag. I think he tangled up with Tao. So Tao had a really bad race this time. Elodie rounding out top 10.
And from now I have 5 billion Taos.
I don't have actually. But yeah, that was race 3. It was definitely towards the end. It was again quite an event. But yeah, I have to say this time Project PD definitely can't escape from the interview, I think. After the win he kind of has to.
I got at least a replay now. So yeah. Top 4, all German. And after that we have Salmon from Jersey And then huge kiss from...
the Czech Republic.
Yeah, I was just thinking if that is correct or not. Night Tiger from the Netherlands, and then Vernax from Hungary. Solnikas from Lithuania, and then Elodia from Switzerland. So actually quite a nice mix of nationalities if we're excluding the top 4.
Yeah.
What a race.
Yeah, it was definitely a great race. Although we had a little bit of a boring time in the middle, but after the pit stops it was quite eventful.
Quite eventful, and also fastest lap goes to Project PD with a 39.7. He was actually the only one dipping into the 39s.
Yeah.
Wow, that was really, really good. All right.
There
so
we also have James retiring from the race, which we didn't realize.
Yeah, I don't think it's his season.
Oh, definitely not. Last 2 seasons were already... Also, season 3 was already quite horrible for him. He was starting good, but after that it was... Yeah, I think horrible is a fitting term for that. with his crash with Alex Selma, I think it was Fuji, yeah, with 3. And then from then on, the season was just going downwards and downwards.
Right before we might get PD, I just asked him if he's fine, if we can move him.
Yeah.
I think we can... I don't know, let's put Yujkis in. I mean, we're always putting like the top 3 in, but I think this time we should...
Yeah.
Maybe have a look at the other people. Hello, Yujkis.
Hello.
How is everything going?
Hot, tired. Good.
It was a very strong race from your side, like compared to the first 2 races. It was really lovely to see you up there in the top 6, top 7. So how was the race for you?
Thank you. Well, race started, well, the quali was good. Then, unfortunately, in the beginning of the race, I got myself into the crash when I was passing the car which was slapped down. And I had some aero damage in the front, so I had to pit, and basically I ran the whole race on the 1 set of tires, which was not ideal.
Ouch. But you still had like a decent pace in the end of your stint. Or at the end of the race, so it wasn't too bad actually.
Yeah, fortunately the tires kind of lost. I had to feather them a bit, you know, not too hard on the throttle and such. But yeah, it was fine. But then there was another incident when I tried to overtake Alex Salmon. It was slightly slower in the fault, but I spun, and then it was like not good anymore.
Yeah, I think
I had some damage as well. So.
But yeah, still a strategy, or let's say your unvolunteered strategy still somewhat worked, because some of your fans were complaining in the stream chat that you were pitting far too early. but it still somehow worked.
It was Bruno 399.
Bruno?
Yeah, I don't know. A big shout out to Bruno if he's still around. So yeah, anyway, really good result from your side, Yujkis, and we would like to see a little bit more of that next week. Definitely, it was great fun to see the Porsche in the front.
I'm gonna try. Thank you.
Awesome. Then have a good night, Yujkis, and many thanks for the show.
You
And
too.
congratulations on the good result.
Thanks. Good night.
Good night.
All right. PD is not responding, and if he's not responding, I don't want to move him in. I think he's doing that really good. He's just not responding that he doesn't have to go to the interview.
Yeah, seems like.
What about Fino or Salmon? I would go with Salmon.
Yeah, Salmon.
Hello, Mr. Salmon.
Hello.
I don't think you're the happiest person on Earth right now. But
Not really, no.
But still, I think a decent result for you. So how was the race for you? How worked everything out?
A bit of a mess for me, really. I somehow, first set of hards didn't really go too well, and the Corvettes seemed to just dominate us on the start. Yeah, the 2 Corvettes were gone, and I'm fair play to Puffy for holding them, well, splitting them for most of the race. But once those two went, and I started getting the aero push, it was kind of my race over from there.
Yeah,
And
it seemed like the Fords were struggling the most at Saquito. Also with the tires. Yeah, we saw a lot of Fords actually struggling. So even the Ferrari was quite good actually.
Yeah, for some reason though, my hards managed to cook. So I came out the pits and I had sort of 90 to 100 degree high temperature on my hards.
Oh.
I've got to have a look at that, but
doesn't sound right.
No, a bit of a bummer.
But still, with those issues, I think P5 is not too bad. I know it puts a little bit back in the standings, but I think because Espart was not racing, still you will gain like a position.
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, I don't know. Let's have a look at Watkins Glen next week. I think it should be maybe a little bit better for the Ford.
Yeah, should be fun.
Hopefully, and yeah, still awesome race. I think the fight with Fab Iceman was also nice to watch.
I didn't thought that one then.
But I think you couldn't maintain quite the pace in the end.
I found out he put the softs on, so he was a lot faster than me.
Okay. Well, Salmon, then many thanks. And yeah, P5 is not a bad result. It's I know it's not your standard lately, but it's not like the end of the world.
Towards the championship, it's still a good result. I mean, consistency is key.
Yeah,
over the whole season. So
consistency is key. Yeah. All right, Salmon. Then I wish you a really good night.
Yeah, thanks for that.
And you had like good support from your brother in the stream.
All right. Uh-oh.
At some point he was asking why was he at P11. Yeah. All right, Salmon. Have a good one, yeah?
All right, thanks for that. Yeah, thanks.
Congrats.
All right. I guess that's it. PD is not responding, or at least I don't see a message. But yeah, it was really lovely, actually. Mid of the race was quite boring, actually. Like, I wouldn't say boring, but it was like not much happening.
Yeah.
But I think in the end, it was really, really great racing, especially from Puffy and Project PD and also Fino. So yeah, what is next week? Next week we have Watkins Glen, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it will be a blast. It's definitely one of my favorite tracks on the schedule. So
yeah, so Watkins Glen, again, nothing too fancy. We're going from heavy cloud to hazy, also in day conditions.
But I think this will probably one of the races where qualifying is really important, with not much possibilities to pass there, with only short straights and a lot of flowing corners.
Yeah, definitely. And after that, we have again a week break, and then we're going into the final two races, which will be Hockenheimring and Bathurst.
It's the final at Bathurst, yeah. Really looking forward to that one.
Bathurst, that will be quite interesting. Also, Hockenheimring with the last slot is random, which will be also quite tricky. But yeah, let's have all eyes on Watkins Glen next week. I really enjoyed it this time. I didn't talk too much. I'm feeling a little bit sick, but I think you did a great job covering the most of it. So many thanks to that.
Thanks. It was again a lot of fun, although we were a little bit unprepared this time.
Yeah.
So we'll be better next time again.
Like starting the stream like 10 minutes before. Yeah. I think it was okay. It was
okay, definitely.
It was really good. All right, then. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. As always, like some little advertisement. If you want to get involved with league racing, with normal races, we have sprint nights, we have fun nights, drink and drive nights, and whatsoever. Just go to revolutionsimracing.com, just sign up, and then you can join the party. And maybe I know that's like the key sentence. Maybe next season you're the champion.
Yeah, definitely.
If not Project PD.
We want you as champion in Season 5.
Yeah, just need to give Puff Pirate and Project PD enough money to not participate. Alright guys, then have a good night. Thanks again for tuning in, and see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.